Hi, I'm Alicia and welcome to my channel Papercraft Secrets. Today I'm sharing a set of 10 birthday cards using the Mintay Papers Happy Birthday 6x6 paper pad and also the Mintay Papers Happy Birthday 60 paper die cuts and also the Mintay Papers Happy Birthday paper elements. And finally, the number 8 All Occasions Sentiments page. Let's get started on this tutorial together. So here I am on my work table and I'm looking at the beautiful Happy Birthday 6x6 paper scrapbooking set, and I'm also looking at the 27 paper elements. I also have the All Occasions number 8 page there, some pretty flowers. I'm working with a 4x6 inch card folded in half at the top, on the top edge. These are just some scrap card stock that I've got on my desk, and I'm going to use these scrap pieces up to make a beautiful set of 10 birthday cards. So to begin with, I just need to fold all of these pages in half to create the base of my cards. Now I'm going to go through my 6x6 paper pad and I'm going to choose papers from the pad that I love, which is pretty much all of the papers in this 6x6 paper pad. And I'm going to start with 10 pieces of paper for my cards. Now I'm going to prepare these for my base cards and I'm going to cut them on my cutting board to this measurement here, which is 5 3/4 by 3 3/4 in inches. That's going to leave me a little white gap around the border of my card. So here I go at 5 3/4 and here I go at 3 3/4. So I'm going to do that to all of those 10 pages so that they are ready for the base of my card. And here they are, and they're all looking beautiful, and I do have scraps which I have kept my scraps. So we are moving on now, and our next cut is going to be 5 1/4 by 3 1/4 inches, and we're going to need another 10 pages of the beautiful Mintay Happy Birthday paper. So go through your pad again and find yourself another 10 pages. And now we're going to cut these to 5 1/4 by 3 1/4. So here is my 5 1/4 cut. And here is my 3 1/4 cut. Five 1/4 by 3 1/4. It's going to fit on the inside as another layer on our card. So if you could go through and cut out all of your 10 to 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then you'll have a little scrap that you need to save for your tag. In the Paper Elements collection, there are a selection of tags that are already pre-cut as one of the paper element shapes, and I actually really love these tags and I use them all of the time when I'm creating with the Mintay papers. We're going to copy the size of this tag we're making a few minor changes. We're going to make our tags 2.5 by 4.5 inches. So we're taking our little scrap that we kept and we're cutting it to 2.5 by 4.5 inches. So you need to do that for all 10. So we've got our 5 3/4, then we've got our 5 1/4, and then we've got our 2.5. So we've got 3 different sizes. Now you'll see that our tag is a little bit smaller than the one from the Paper Elements. That's okay. We're going to use it to just trim the little diagonal corners on the tag, and we're also going to use it as a guide for where to punch our hole in our tag. There we go, and now we've made our own tags. So we're just going to cut off all those little corners and punch our little holes. And we're going to do that for every single one of our tags. Then we're going to cut a piece of twine to about 30 centimeters. We'll need 10 of those. Then we loop it in half, stick the loop through the hole, thread the thread through the loop, pull it tight, and create a bow on the end. All right, so that's how I do my little ties on my tag. So make a loop, push that loop through the hole, open the loop, thread the ends through the loop, and then pull it tight and tie a bow. You can put a little bow on each one of your tags. Now we're going to start gluing down. Okay, so gluing our largest piece on first, then we're going to glue our smaller piece on top, and then we're going to choose a tag. Now you do have to think about your papers, about what matches on these cards. You don't have to, put a lot of worry into it, but you will find that some of the papers go better with some of the designs than others. So what I'm doing first is I'm just going to put down all of the largest rectangle onto the base of the card so that we've got all of those ready to go, because we're doing bulk card making today. And then I am going to layer another layer on top. Now it's up to you if you wanted to add some cardboard or some mounting tape in between those two layers. You very well could. I'm going to keep mine fairly flat this time. Now you can see how I'm trying to choose contrast with my papers. I've got like a plain pink and then a busy front. You want to sort of alternate busy papers with more plainer papers. So that one there had a busy background, so I'm going to give it a plain front. Same with this one. If it's got a plainer background, give it a busier front. So you're looking for a contrast in patterns. You might find it easier to spread them out a little bit and then match them up. Just work your way through all 10 of the cards. Once you have all of those completed, now it's time to prepare our tags. Now for the tags, I will be putting some recycled cardboard on the back of my tags to elevate them a little bit off the page, and this is totally optional. You can keep them flat, or you can use recycled cardboard, or you can use mounting tape just to give them a little bit more height. So just gluing that cardboard onto the back of the tags, and now we're going to lay our cards out on our table so that we can see the colors clearly. And we're going to choose the best tags for each card, because it does get a little bit tricky with the 3 different patterned papers. So I'm gluing these tags down onto the right hand side of the top rectangle on each card. And they're all looking very beautiful. Let's just spread those out so we can see them all in the camera. Now I'm using some flowers to go with these cards, a mixture of pink, grey and a sort of buttery lemon colour. You can use any flowers that you like. You can make your own flowers if you would like. I'm also using some pink ribbon and a little bit of dangly lace underneath my flower. So you can have a little bit of dangly lace and a pink ribbon under each flower for each card. I'm also using the All Occasions Sentiments by Mintay to go with these cards. I've cut them into strips and I'm just going to cut them with my scissors to create a sentiment for each card. I do like to put a sentiment on my cards because I feel like when you see a card, it's nice to have some words on it to read, but it's up to you as to whether you want to do your sentiment now or save your sentiment for a little bit later when you're actually giving your card out. I'm also using the paper die cuts. I'm going to be going through and finding the largest paper die cuts because I just want to put one large picture on my card. So I'm picking out the large cakes, the large floral clusters. Of course, you could choose the smaller pictures if you wanted to and use 1 or 2 or 3 different pictures on your card, but I'm going for a fairly simple design. The reason I'm keeping it simple is because the papers are very busy. And so I just feel that it doesn't need a lot of embellishment. There's also these papers at the back and front of the 6x6, little images, which I'm going to cut out and I'm going to use in my designs as well. There's some presents there. And all of these little paper die cuts or fussy cut images, I will use recycled cardboard to mount them on. So to do that, I just put a little bit of glue on some cardboard, put the cardboard behind the image, and then glue the image onto the card. And then I just I went through and did all of my images first with the glue. Once I had all of those images glued down, I started to glue down my little floral embellishment. So I use a different glue for my lace and flowers than I do for my paper. So just a little bit of lace, then the bit of ribbon, and then the flower on top. And I just repeated that for every card that I had here. So I'm putting it on the left hand bottom corner of the card, not too far down. Lace, ribbon and flower. Then it was time for my sentiment. So I ended up using some little foam dots for my sentiment. I only use 1 or 2 because I like to be able to change my sentiments if I need to down the track. Let's just say I needed a birthday card, but I didn't want it to say congrats. I wanted it to say happy birthday. I can just take that little sentiment off and change it for a sentiment that suits my occasion better. So that's what I do now. I just pop the sentiments on lightly in case I need to change them in the future before I give out the card. And that brings us to the end of our tutorial. Our beautiful cards are finished. I think they're really, really sweet. They're going to be very versatile and great to have in your stash for birthdays coming up for family and friends. If you want to see more of my crafty tutorials, why not join me over on Patreon? That is where you'll get 4 videos a month and a free printable. Make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely crafty day.